New iSmart interface from MG. Yes, there's been this huge event here, and you can see the massive set there behind me, which is kind of looked sort of decked out to look like the actual inside of the car. So the windscreen, the windows, yeah, I guess you can tell a little bit. But all the attention comes down to what's happening on this massive interface. This is the same interface that you're going to see on the car, along with its steering controls. And there is plenty I could take you through, but I'll just give you a brief sort of a gist in terms of what you can expect, because the idea with this is to try and carry on bringing that user interface and make it more and more personalized, more and more intuitive in the car's context. So, all right, let me flip that around again and try and take you back to the screen. All right, here we go. So first up, the basic part of the screen that's going to sort of be fixed, and that's your plug-in or USB interface, so the iPod or whatever, the navigation, and then the radio. These are the three things that are fixed items. You got a scrolly menu down here, the phone, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, of course, can't do without those. Email, in case you configure it, settings, and then file is basically where you could store videos or songs that you download ahead of time. And of course, you also have car information that will be thrown up at you. And then there's a specific integration that's happened with Ghana, where yeah, you can listen to the Ghana app while you're on the move, and you can go ahead and find, well, right now I've got one of my favorite songs on, but of course we're not inside the car, and so you don't have the best speakers here right now, but turn the radio on. Yes, okay, so you get the idea. I mean, Ghana, of course, has plenty that you can do in terms of its menu. You can find the different stations that work for you, and you can go through a whole lot of music content. That's a great association and tie-up that's been done by MG, and of course, a lot of people are going to love that. Now, let me put that off. Okay, so you can hear me, and that's the home screen. You always get back to it using the button down here, which is kind of like an iPhone, and the whole thing is like a tablet, isn't it? Only it's bigger than most tablets. You got some basic functions down here, like the defogger and the volume, but otherwise everything else is embedded into the screen. And of course, you can talk to it. Yes, there's a personal assistant as well. I know a lot of you are asking questions, but let me see if I can try and get to some of them. But hi, and thank you all for joining me in any case. A lot of you are saying hello, so hi. And okay, hello MG. Turn on the air conditioning. Switch on AC. Hello MG. Set temperature to 23 degrees.
Temperature is set to 23 degrees Celsius.
All right, so you get the idea. You can talk to the car, and it will respond. It will give you a lot of things. Now, the interesting thing here is about some of the real-time updates, over-the-air updates. Usually that pertains to software that you need to run a system or run the car. This isn't just about that. This is also about some of the apps. They'll actually be real-time updating, especially navigation. Now, how is that different from something like Google Maps, you'll ask? Well, it's not necessarily constantly feeding you real-time data, because a lot of the maps are embedded. But while you're driving, if there's any change in your route, or if there's any kind of traffic information update, or maybe sometimes, a closure or a blockage, well, that's where the first time ever that TomTom has introduced this anywhere in the world, you get the update straight away on your route. And why I specify that is because, let's say there's an update in some other city. Typically, when you do a software update on a navigation system, it updates everything. In this case, it's not about everything. It is only about updating the specific part you need, which means you use lesser data and also lesser space required on the system. To me, that is interesting for sure, and I hope it works really well in the real world. Today, it's just a demo here. There's a whole bunch of these demo units that have been set up, and there you go. But I think the real excitement of it will come through only when we actually get to try the real thing on the road. But The idea today was to just bring you a quick primer on what this is, why it's such a big deal, and how MG as a brand is going to be really focusing on technology being its plank. There are separate partners who are very transparently brought to the table, and it's their interface in many ways that you get to see. So there's Microsoft, there's Cisco, there's TomTom, as I mentioned, there's Ghana, a whole lot of people who've come together to try and give you, and even Nuance, by the way, a company out of China that works specifically on accents and also understanding language. So while the system will speak to you in English, it'll speak to you in Indian English, and yes, it'll speak to you in English that is spoken in different parts of India. At least that's what we've been assured. So yeah, plenty then to look forward to when it comes to the driving of this car. That's still a few days away. We got a first glimpse of how the car is really going to look officially. No spy pictures, no leaks, and off the screen. So I took those pictures. They're on my Twitter feed. You can go ahead and take a look at that. At the end, I'm going to quickly show you the setup here today, because it is very different to a typical press conference. And there you go. So as I said, set up like the interior of a car cabin in many ways. Well, at least the front half of it is. All right, sorry for that. And thank you. There you go. That's what the third window is going to look like. Passenger window, front passenger window. And that's that big screen. This one's giant. Of course, it's going to be 10.4 inches, but it will be the biggest available in the market today. And that's your dash layout and your windscreen. So yeah, call it gimmicky, but it's very different, certainly, to the kind of typical press conference settings that we usually have. Okay, let me see if I can scroll through some of your questions now. And audio lag, well, I'm sorry about that. Can't do much there. How does the Indian consumer believe a new company? And will it be like GM? Now, of course, this is nothing like GM, but having said that, yes, it's a new company, and so there's no way to vouch for anything. Thank you, Sumit. Appreciate your thoughts on that. And Ankit, you say, please answer my question. I'm guessing that's the same thing about how to believe a new company. I think that's probably true whether it comes to MG or Kia or anybody else who's entering the market. And so we'll have to wait and watch and also give them a chance. But I have to say that a lot of what they're doing is extremely, extremely different to what we usually see in an automotive context. So you look like a younger brown James May. Well, now that's something else for sure. Thank you. I don't know if I should say thank you for that. But okay, and expected price, well, you know, the car is going to be positioned somewhere between the Creta on the one end and Jeep Compass at the other end. So do the math, but about 18 lakhs, that's what our guess would be in terms of the sort of pricing that you'll get on this. All right, I hope it's still not a lot of audio lag there, but let me get off the stage. And what about the price? I just mentioned that, so you'll have to probably scroll back in this video. And all right, I'm pretty much done with what I wanted to tell you. It is about interface, it is about experience, and it is about connectivity. So the real connected car, all of this will work because there will be an eSIM. The embedded SIM will come with the car. We are told they're talking to Airtel, and the good news, for the first few years, that will be free. The data that you will use inside the car, whether it's for the Ghana app, whether it's for an update, whether it's for a map, whether it's to find a coffee shop, all of that data will be free to the user at the start. So will they offer AMT in diesel? No, but there will be an automatic, we're told. And with that, I think it's about it. So thank you for watching. Please wear your seatbelts always, and lots more updates, lots more details about what's going into this car on a special show that we're doing this weekend on Saturday. So look out for that on carandbike.com.